On the 28th of October 2019, I started this YouTube channel. Today, 1 year later, I want to share with you my reflections on my first year as a YouTuber, my progress so far, what I learned, and what advice I have for people who want to start their own YouTube channel. Hello and welcome to the Savvy Corner. My name is Alisa, and on this channel I talk about how to manage your money, your business, and your mind around it. I've been doing this on YouTube for 1 year. This is my 50th video, which means that for the last year, every week with a couple of exceptions, I released a new YouTube video. When I started this channel, I had certain expectations of my progress on the platform and where I would be in a year's time. They didn't happen. My progress has been slower than I thought it will be for several reasons. In this video, I want to talk about where I am today, what I learned during this year, and to offer some perspective and guidance for people who would like to start their own YouTube channel. I'll split the video in two parts. Part 1 will be my reflections on this year and my progress so far, and part 2 is what I learned and what is my advice for other beginners. I started the channel as a way to offer an alternative way for my audience to consume my content. I wanted them to see me, the person behind the business, and to interact a bit with my personality. My main platform before YouTube was LinkedIn, which has a more business-like feel to it, and not everyone uses it on a daily basis. I wanted to have more intimate conversations with my audience that went beyond text and photos. Video is one of the richest forms of content that exists because it includes visual, audio, and written content, so I chose YouTube. I was only familiar with this platform as a consumer, not as a creator, and I had zero experience with filming, editing, the technology that's needed. I knew nothing, and I truly started from scratch, and it was a huge learning curve. I didn't want to delegate anything until I knew how to do it myself, and for months I was in learning mode while running my business and releasing videos at the same time. My first few videos were bad. I was filming using my webcam, I didn't really know how to work with lighting, and I was filming in my living room, which is huge and therefore very echoey. Nevertheless, I'm proud of those videos because at that time I was giving it my best. My knowledge was limited, but I was determined not to let that stop me, and it didn't. Not many people stick to a consistent posting schedule, especially if after a few months or 1 year, they don't see the results they expect. And that is my case too. In terms of subscribers and watch time, I was expecting the numbers to be different. I had watched quite a few videos where YouTubers shared that they became monetized within a few months, and I thought that was going to be the case for me as well. If you're unfamiliar with this, the threshold for monetization is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months. At the moment of filming this video, I have 188 subscribers and 329 public watch hours. So almost a fifth of the number of subscribers and not even a tenth of the number of public watch hours required. Let's talk about that for a moment. Now that I've been on YouTube for a while, I have noticed a few things. One of them is that some, not all, but some of the people who grew relatively quickly on this platform already had a sizable audience elsewhere, usually on Instagram, and they brought that audience to YouTube. The second thing to note is that some type of videos perform a lot better than others. Clothing hauls, beauty videos, challenges and pranks, cooking videos, they all have the potential to be trending on YouTube, go viral, and therefore the creators of those videos experience exponential growth. None of that was the case for me. Instagram was not a platform that I paid much attention to before starting YouTube, and the topic of my videos is by no means trending or popular on YouTube. What also happened for me was that I did a semi-pivot midway through the year, and I started to make videos about business and coaching and not so much about personal finance anymore, which is a more popular subject. So my progress so far has been slower than I expected, but I know exactly why, and I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm more than okay with it because YouTube has offered me some advantages that I did not plan for. The biggest one is the fact that having content on YouTube has improved my Google SEO ranking. Here are a few examples of videos that show up on the first page of a Google search for key search terms that are related to my business. All these searches have been performed in incognito mode, and I have to say it feels pretty good to see my videos showing next to Vanessa Lau's, which is a creator I respect and admire on the platform. The second advantage is that YouTube has become an important tool in my business. It's not driving a lot of traffic my way yet, but I send a lot of my prospects and even clients to my YouTube channel as a way to save time and offer them more value. If I'm working with a new coach, for example, instead of introducing certain concepts to them during our sessions, I advise them which videos to watch to get familiar with that concept, and our time together is then spent on implementation and tailoring the approach for their own business instead of me teaching and explaining something that they can watch in their own time. My YouTube channel has also proven amazing in helping me navigate requests from people who want to pick my brain. Instead of saying no right away, I can ask them what is it that they wish to discuss and refer them to one or several of my videos that might be helpful. It's a more polite way to say no while offering value at the same time. Finally, with regards to my progress, is that after my 30th video or so, I started to see things moving a lot quicker. That coincided with me learning how to do proper keyword research and optimize my videos for search, but also with me becoming more focused on the coaching business niche and talking about money and finances from that perspective. A lot of people say that you can only make an informed analysis after you released 100 videos, and now that I'm 50 videos in, I agree with that. It took me 30 videos to know what I'm doing. It'll probably take another 30 to practice what I learned and another 30 or so to master the craft. So I'll be back in my 100th video with more thoughts and insights. In the meantime, if you liked this video, my 50th one, I would appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing for more similar content. Thank you in advance if you do, it really helps to support the channel. Moving on to part 2 of the video, what I learned and my advice for people who wish to start a YouTube channel. As I mentioned earlier, my first few videos sucked, and yours probably will too unless you have prior experience in videography. What I noticed though is that having good gear helps. It is true that you should focus on your content being on point and offering value to your audience first and foremost. But the truth is, if someone lands on your channel and the audio is bad or the video quality is not good, their experience will not be great and perhaps they will even click out of it. YouTube is a very crowded space and you are competing against creators whose videos look amazing. The shots are beautiful, the audio is smooth. Yours don't have to be perfect and they won't be in the beginning. But good gear will help a lot in that direction. And of course, learning how to operate it. It took me a while to get familiar with my camera settings and what microphone works best. And after probably about 10 months, I was finally happy with the overall quality of my videos. If you're one of my Romanian viewers, what I'm trying to say is this. The English, much more elegant equivalent of what I just said is that you can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear. So invest in good quality gear as soon as you can afford to do so. It doesn't have to be super expensive. I did some research and I went with a very reasonably priced camera and microphone, which I will link for you in the description box below. The next tip I have for YouTube beginners is to learn the platform from the point of view of a creator. YouTube has a certain algorithm and you need to learn how it works and adopt good practices that allow that algorithm to favor you, either now or in the future. I may be a small fish in the pond, but every time I post a video now, I think about it strategically. I do keyword research. I optimize the video so that it's SEO friendly. I have a certain structure for it. I'm conscious of not going on a tangent and being brief and on point. Speaking of strategic thinking, I treat my channel as if it were already monetized, and I create with the future in mind. I think about future sponsorships and collaborations, and because of that, I create videos that fall onto each other, that make sense if viewed together, that reference each other, that together make up a story. Because if one of my videos does get picked up or sees an upward trajectory, I don't want that to be a one-off thing that happened by chance. I want the well-performing video to lift other videos because they are all part of the same story. In order to do that, you need to have a clear niche, which is my next tip for beginners on YouTube. Once you have a niche, you will be talking about one thing and build a solid base of videos that all bring value on one topic. And this is where the magic happens. The more videos you have on that topic, the more it becomes a numbers game. The more videos you have on a topic, the better your SEO score and the higher the chances of your channel growing. I won't talk about specific keyword strategies here and SEO because that is not my specialty. I learned these things from other YouTubers and from taking some courses. So do your own research here. There's plenty of free and paid information available on the internet. What I do want to mention is a tool that has made my life so much easier when it comes to keyword research, and that is TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that gives you access to a bunch of tools, including keyword research. They have a free version which allows you to research up to 3 keywords per day, I believe. I use the Pro version, which costs £9 a month, but if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, you pay 50% of that. And if you choose to pay annually, you also save another 20%. So very affordable. I will link it for you below. What happens if you do all these things? You have the right gear, the right content that's optimized for search, etc., and you still don't see much happening. My advice here is to measure your success based on the metrics you can control rather than the ones you cannot control. Thinking about my YouTube channel, the things I can control are the frequency with which I post, which for me is 1 video per week, the quality of my content and the technical quality of the audio and the video, the description of my video being SEO friendly, sharing that video with my audience on other platforms, and that's about it. I cannot control how people will react to it, how many views, comments and likes I will get, whether the algorithm will pick it up or not. And because these things are outside of my control, I choose not to attach my success to these metrics. So for me, if I release 1 video per week that is of good quality and optimized for search, then I consider that to be a success. There was a point in my YouTube journey when I will refresh my analytics several times a day so I can see how my videos were performing. That wasn't smart on my part, and it wasn't good for my mental health either. Now there are days when I don't even check my analytics because I know I have done my best already. And that is what I strongly encourage you to do as well. Do not let yourself be influenced by vanity metrics such as likes, comments, shares, views, etc. Focus on creating a system and measure success based on following that process. If you want to understand more about this concept, then I recommend you read Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I will link for you below. Since the pandemic started, I've done a lot of inner work, and I truly believe that where I am now in my business with my YouTube channel and in my life in general is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I cannot tell you how liberating that feels. But without getting too spiritual here, my last piece of advice for new YouTubers is to keep going. Consistency and perseverance are key to any endeavor, and this is especially the case with YouTube, which is such a huge platform with a lot of established creators on it. It's not over until you say it is. So best of luck with your channel if you're starting one, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube journey. I hope you enjoyed today's video, a bit different than usual, but something I wanted to share with you after my first year on YouTube. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.